Welcome back, everyone. Red Devils talk. 2-2 draw with Spurs. We are just not good enough. What are we doing? Where are we going? What type of tactics are we trying to play? Because against Spurs, we certainly had nothing. Yes, Willian scored. Yes, Rashford scored. But other than that, we simply looked clueless. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like. Thank you for your support. Share it to your friends and family. Let's get into it. Who would have thought that us against Spurs would have resulted in a draw? Because a lot of people expected us to be worse than that. And honestly, we were dominated by Spurs. They were the better team, but I don't think Onana was threatened that much. The two goals we conceded were the same type of goals we have been conceding all season. Go from corners or set pieces, and of course, not tracking runners into the box or runners that are in the box. Now, Johnny Evans could have reacted quicker, but he's 35. I mean, come on, what are you going to expect from an aging defender? Onana could maybe have done better at this near post, but Eriksen ain't tracking his man. There was a massive hole in midfield before the ball even got to Werner and Bentancur. And that's only the second equalizer. How did we come out in the second half simply not looking up for it? What has happened this season with regards to us in second halves where we simply cannot perform? We just dead. We didn't even have, in my opinion, a shot on target in the first 20 minutes of that second half. We had chances to get the third, not to mention the McTominay chance, but we'll speak about McTominay because I've got quite a few things to say about him. I simply cannot understand what we were trying to do. Were we trying to counter-attack Spurs yesterday? Did we try and play through them? And we did try and play out from the back, but we kept on losing the ball. We couldn't even get the ball to the likes of Mainu and Eriksen to play through. Because for some reason, Wan-Bissaka was left back. I'm not sure why Delo didn't play there. I'm not sure what Ten Hag's thinking was behind putting him right back and Wan-Bissaka left back, and he's never played left back before. There were quite a few things that didn't make sense. And Spurs definitely just looked structured, sorted. They knew what they were doing. And if they had their better players, the Sons, the Kulusevskis, they probably would have scored more. But what are we doing? Where are we going? What type of football are we trying to play? Are we trying to be a counter-attacking team? Are we trying to keep possession of the ball? Are we trying to be a high-press team that counter-presses and wins the ball high up the pitch? I don't know. Willian's only shot in the game was his goal. And that's because the ball fell to him kindly in the box. Still a clinical finish though. But nobody's crossing the ball into him. Nobody's giving him the ball when he's making runs. I spoke about this before the game. Garnacho getting the ball but not finding his man with the cross. Udogi kind of had his number, but I'm glad that he found a defender that was able to give him a game because he's still young and he'll become better for that. Same with Højlund. I don't have any worries with Højlund, Garnacho and Mainu. But Rashford should have done more. There were so many moments Pedro Porro just ran towards our box and he was just jogging back, not showing enough effort. There are players in that team that are not good enough, and I'm glad Sir Jim was there, Sir Dale Brailsford, Jean-Claude Blanc. They can clearly see, and if they don't, then there's a problem, that there are players that should be completely sold, let go of at the end of the season. McTominay, Lindelof. You look at the likes of Eriksen, surely, Amrabat, do not buy him permanently. You know, Martial needs definitely to be gone. Maybe Anthony even, because when he came on, he done nothing. Ten Hag put him on because we needed a goal, and he did absolutely nothing. He was worse than what he was previously when he came on. McTominay should not have been on the pitch because Casemiro should have been played. Why did Ten Hag not put Casemiro on and put on McTominay instead? He put Martinez on and our defense was better for it. There was a moment where Martinez completely turned and nutmegged Johnson. We got a line out from it, but he literally is elite under pressure. He played passes through the lines straight to Bruno. We have never done that without him on the pitch. Because we don't do that. We can't. The players are technically not good enough. We are not good enough. I'm not ranting. I'm just tired of seeing the same things happen. Game in, game out. Now we have a 2-week break, and you would think that that would recharge and refresh the team. But what were they doing all week? Yes, we played Wigan, but not all of them played against Wigan. We certainly have questions that we had to ask or need to ask about Ten Hag. If results continue like this, he surely will probably be gone by the end of the season. And that would be no one's fault, and no one could argue that because the results have not improved. Now, whether that's the players throwing Ten Hag under the bus, then we'll have to accept it and look at it that way. But you also have to understand that Ten Hag needs a proper window with a better footballing structure behind him, with a better scouting and transfer system behind him. Maybe he does better with better players. And you would believe that because of what evidence was shown of his ability as a manager at Ajax. You look at he worked at under the likes of Pep at Bayern Munich. He must have tactics, but he cannot implement it because of the lack of technical ability in our team. Look what happened when Martinez came on. All of a sudden, we had someone trying to play passes forward, trying to break the lines, and pushing the entire defense up with Varane. We simply were a much better team, and had he started, we probably win that game. I'm sure. Defensively, we were solid when he came on. We didn't concede much chances, or chances for that matter, and he certainly would have given us a better foothold on the game and much more control because of him being confident on the ball and being able to break a line. But we need to be better. A 2-week break, Eastleigh or Newport County to come, and both of those teams are so far down in the English division, League 2 and National League respectively. That has to be a win. Maybe Ten Hag will rotate, play a couple of youngsters, the likes of Kambwala, Dan Gore, Ahmad maybe starting that game. We will see what happens in that particular game. But we certainly have to be better in the Premier League because we're taking the FA Cup seriously and we have to, and that's all good, but you want to have a top 4 finish. But we're so far off that I don't even think that's possible. We had to win yesterday to close the gap for ourselves, but Chelsea are literally right behind us right now. Spurs will probably go on to get strong and probably win again. Arsenal have to get winning because they are trying to win the league. The likes of Liverpool are already on top. Aston Villa seems like they are not going to be able to be caught, and they probably might be somewhere near the top 4 by the end of the season. But we might not have Champions League come next season. And whether that's a good thing if you look at it that way, it cannot be a good thing because it will hinder us trying to get certain targets in the summer. If we don't get Champions League football, if we end up 6th, 7th or even 8th and we find ourselves in the Conference League, that is a disappointing season and not what you thought would be the case after what we had last season with being 3rd place and winning a Carabao Cup. We didn't do that by any jokes. There were good performances in last season, but was it a bit too much too early? Did Ten Hag overachieve to the point that now we are trying to find some form of structure? But there's so many off-field issues that have affected us to this point that we see the same things happening. Certain players giving up, and I haven't even spoken about Bruno, but I'm starting to doubt him as our captain because in tough moments, he certainly doesn't and hasn't of late come through and help the team. I see him complain more than actually crossing a ball in creating a chance or taking a shot. We are simply not good enough. That's literally one of the worst things to say. It's such a deflating feeling because we don't know what we're going to get. We have no idea what type of United is going to turn up, and we simply are left in a hopeless situation because we are not sure what these players are going to give. These players are untrustworthy. But we have a 2-week break. We'll see exactly what happens now. Let's hope we don't get any bad news coming through from the media with regards to United. But if there's any significant news, I'll be here. You'll be here. We'll speak about it. We'll discuss it, and we'll go through it as it when it comes in. But thank you for joining me. Drop a like if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel so that we can continue to grow the community. It's a new year. I do aim to get to at least 500 subscribers, maybe push it to 1,000, but it's possible with your help, and I'm thankful for those that show their love to the channel, and I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day further. Let's enjoy this 2-week break. So we'll see each other again soon, Red Devils, in the next one. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.